Everybody, attention everybody, the views expressed on the show are not necessarily those of Acts Ministry, Acts Media Group, and or their affiliates, subordinate ministries, and or nonprofits.
So true. Yeah, good morning. It's the Morning Mouth with your host, Johnny Rooster, and
Pastor Matt.
He's awake. He really is. I hope you guys are.
It's Monday morning.
I hope everybody's awake. It's a Monday. It's time to get up and get going and get shaking and doing your thing.
Oh, yeah. So it's,
May the 11th.
Is it May the 11th?
It is a beautiful day in the Ozarks, whether you're here or you're somewhere else.
Or you're there, or you're nowhere.
You may be somewhere besides where we live.
Might be.
You may not even be in our studio.
You may be in Mexico.
You're in the Johnny Rooster studio, Acts Media Group.
Coming to you live from Acts Media Group headquarters here in beautiful Springfield, Missouri. That's what I say at my show. It's the Morning Mouth. Johnny Rooster, Pastor Matt. All right. Backing it up.
It's not going to be like last week where we got to talk over the whole song.
We didn't actually talk over the whole song.
We talked about talking over the whole song.
Yeah, no, we're not going to talk over the whole song.
We make a big fat deal about it. No reference to my co-host.
Yeah, that's all right. Hey, I'm a chubby guy. I always have been. Except for when I wasn't.
We do make a big fat deal about this music, but it is original. Pastor Matt did kick out this tune called I'm Forgiven.
I am forgiven.
And
I'm forgiven.
I liked it so much, I said, Johnny Rooster wants that on his show every Monday morning.
Johnny Rooster likes to refer to himself in the third person.
That's right, just like
so
Elmo.
Does Pastor Matt.
Just like Elmo with a little more growl.
Elmo?
Elmo always refers to... Yeah, he always does the third person.
Oh, yeah.
Elmo doesn't like that.
Yeah, yeah that guy.
That
remember,
tickles.
some of you guys were watching here last week about May the 4th.
May the 4th.
And we're doing all these character things. Well, we got something really unusual today, Pastor Matt.
I know. You were kind of telling me a little something about it.
It's a little fearful, so I'm going to give a little disclaimer, which means warning. You need a little. Do you have a banner like at the bottom of the screen? It says warning, caution, mature content, immature content instead of mature content.
I mean, I could do that, but I don't see the point. Now, remember, the views and opinions expressed on the show are not necessarily those of Acts Ministry, Acts Media Group, and or their affiliate and subordinate ministries and or nonprofits.
And with one guy at the mic saying that more than once, you may kind of get the hint that some of these expressions and views are funny.
You know what's really sad is that we have to worry about it.
It is sad. It is sad. Because you shouldn't even have to. You just roll in there.
Yeah.
80s style guns blazing. I'm not here to offend people, but I'm here to offend.
Blazing Saddles is on.
Offending people isn't my issue.
No.
I don't care if I offend or not. I want to have them have a good listen, something they don't hear somewhere else.
And be fun. Be fun about it.
If you happen to feel offended, well, maybe you happen to have a scratchy back that you need to itch too, you know? Things happen.
Yeah.
I'm not here to offend you. I'm not here to not offend you, okay? I'm just going to be man about it. And speaking of man about it, here we go. Here we go.
Did you practice that intro?
You know, I didn't, but I liked it. It just came to me, and it's about gender inequality, okay? There's this disparaging big gap. It's like you ever heard that popular the Gap? It's a retail store. We don't talk about them.
Yeah.
There's a big one, gender. And there's been too much talk about gender in the last year. Before COVID-19 stole the thunder, we had numerous genders that people talked about. There wasn't just two. Well, the Bible clearly says male and female, he created them. So, okay, we're good with that. It came to a screech. Is that a screeching halt?
That is.
Is that leaving or
skid.
arriving?
That was great.
All right, we're arriving at this moment of truth. If you're out there and you believe there's more than two genders, then just look back through the Bible again to make sure you didn't miss anything. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying look at the Bible closely.
Yeah.
Please.
And, hey, we love you regardless.
So here we go. It's a gender-related topic, so I hope there's just tons of people pouring in now. I'm setting it up.
Right.
We're going to set this thing up. This is about the gender gap. And we're not talking about anything other than male and female, okay? We're not going to even go to other things. So here we are.
All right.
I'm a man, and Johnny Rooster is a rooster, not a hen. And we're going to talk about something that's kind of funny. In fact, it's very funny.
Yeah.
In the city of Sacramento, California, it's more of a liberal slant. They were offended. The city council was petitioned by a citizens group
Now, this is a hypothetical.
But
This didn't actually happen.
This actually did happen.
Oh, it did.
But now I'm going to spin off of that, okay? So this is the truth. Here's the
manhole
part.
covers. Gotcha.
Yes, they didn't want the term manhole covers used, so they changed the term. Now, okay, it was on Fox News. It was all over the place. It was last year before COVID stole everybody's conversation.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're out of it. We're out of the COVID conversations for the most part, okay?
Right.
Now we're moving on back to where we were. If you're not going to call it a manhole cover, that's okay. But you started with it for many years, for decades, and then you changed it because. The because is what bothers Johnny Rooster.
Okay, gotcha.
It's the reason it was changed. It was because somebody's offended by a man? Is this what it is? Because men are not offensive. The male gender is not.
I guess it depends on who you ask.
Well, men shouldn't be offending by
just
being men.
It's not like we had any control over.
Yeah, we're not controlling who we are, what we're not excusing irrational and wrong behavior. We're just saying men are okay being men. Women are okay being women. And we like the difference.
Yeah.
Johnny Rooster and Pastor Matt agree that two genders exist, and we're good with that.
Yeah.
So here we go. Here's the fictional setup. So let's say in the city of Sacramento, they have
because they've already set a precedent.
Yes, they set a precedent, so we're setting this up, and it's kind of funny, and they're not right around the corner, so we don't get hate mail from Sacramento, do we?
Not yet.
We will. Okay, but anyway, so they have to banned manhole cover terminology. In fact, Pastor Matt, they actually have ascribed a fine to people that use this term.
What?
Yes, that's what makes.
No, that really happened.
This really happened. Okay.
So if someone says manhole cover,
well, it's in
they can get a fine
in a legal document. Like if they legally use that term in a written.
Because I mean, I put manhole cover in my documents all the time.
No, I know. Every time you bring up a document, you want to put manhole cover.
You know, I think they should
you want to cover your manhole.
They should have a.
We didn't.
They
say
should
that.
have a shortcut key on the keyboard specifically for manhole covers.
Yeah, it should be its own hashtag manhole.
Hashtag manhole. Hey.
Shut your pie hole. Anyway, we're going to tell you this goes further, okay? Because Johnny Rooster's cranking it up an amp. So everybody grab your dial and turn it to the right because that's cranking it up. Turn it up. Here we go. All right, now this is what's happening. This new fictional situation is now Sacramento, and they've reconvened in the City Council of Sacramento, California, to discuss the name of their fair city, Sacramento.
The word men is in Sacramento.
A collective gasp from all of the people that are offended. We won't label. Yeah. What?
Hang on, let me see if I can. I've got one of those.
We will not specifically label the. Yeah. We will not. In fact, get that one ready for the next.
Okay.
Pause.
All right.
Johnny Rooster is gonna. You're gonna get something you never heard before. Okay, so Sacramento City Council fictionally made a meeting, and they said the city name is Sacramento. That's wrong. We can't be all male specific. So let's do this. The brilliant city council said Sacramento. Well, within 5 minutes, that was tabled because they didn't know what to do with women, because men is in the word women, and that made them think, well, maybe all women will be offended by being called women, and we can't be Sacramento, so they tabled it. The next 2 weeks went by, and now it's city council time again. They had some time to think about it, Pastor Matt.
They had to.
They had to mull it over. So they came to the table with their new information. Excuse me, Your Honor, Mr. Mayor, Miss Mayor, whomever you are, Mayor, because I don't know the gender of the mayor.
I don't.
I'm not up on these
We're not
things.
supposed to call them gender specific.
So we're just going to say Mayor. Okay, we're just going to cut to it. It's not
may
or may not be a specific gender.
Gotcha.
Okay, so may or not. We have an idea for you, whoever you may be. Not Sacramento, that's too male chauvinist. Not Sacramento, that says women. We're going to do Sacrapersonto. And everybody sat there and thought, yeah, Sacrapersonto. We're people. But then somebody goes, excuse me. One of the council members sounds like that. I don't know how, but they do.
It just sounds like.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Sacrapersonto has person. There's a son in person.
Now, this person that made that sound with their voice may or may not be a male or may not be a female.
Right.
We don't know. But this is the city council in Sacramento. They're discussing the name of their city. So if you're just joining us,
Reminding you guys, this is fictitious. This is
a
not
fictitious-
actually happening.
what it spins from is back last year, Sacramento, California, really did ban the use of the term manhole covers. So this is where this stems. That's
Right.
where the truth ends. The fiction begins. Johnny Rooster's
All right,
bringing
so
it to a new level.
Not
So
Sacramento,
now they
not
said
Sacramento.
Sacramento, no. Sacramento, no. There's men in the word women. Sacra-person-to, nope. Because per son has a son. Sacra
genders.
per daughter toe. Now that's very feminine specific. We like it. The women are. It's better to make them happy.
Well, all right. So,
the
and-
sacra per daughter toe. So go ahead and
well, I was just saying.
we got sacra per
I
daughter
think,
toe.
I think they people get offended when you use any gender specific
it's too specific.
adverbs
E-
or adjectives.
I've thought this
or whatever
through.
those are
I've
called.
thought it through, so I'm having fun with it. So Johnny Rooster, we're having fun, and here's the fun. They couldn't deal with sacra per daughter toe. It's too hard to spell. So what they did was being. We are beings. Sacra being toe.
yeah, that sounds
it.
good.
Sacra being toe.
Sacra being toe.
B-E-I-N-G. We are all being. Now we're not
and being
we're
toe
not
his name. Oh,
Yes, B-E-I-N-G. Yeah, that one. Here it is. We're not human because that's man, human. We're not Hugh woman. We're not Hugh person. We're not Hugh per daughter. That's silly. They realize that. We are beings. We're not human beings.
Sacra being
We are
toe.
beings. So it is sacra being toe. Now let's spin that off on every other word. If you get meningitis, you got bingingitis.
being
If you want to eat a Mento, you know those candy Mentos? They're being toes. Okay, don't
All
say it
right.
with a straight face. This is serious stuff.
Being
It's
toast.
very you want some
Being toast.
Bing toast. Think about Minnesota. Okay, we got a whole deal going on with Minnesota.
being a soda.
Minnesota. Minneapolis. Minneapolis? No, it's Bingiapolis. Bingiapolis.
Bingiapolis.
Bingatoda. So Minneapolis, Minnesota becomes
Bingiapolis.
Bingiapolis, Bingatoda.
Per
Bingasota.
daughter-apolis.
Yeah, per daughter is so fun, but they couldn't spell it. They didn't.
Right,
they had
right,
a
right.
fight over how to spell it.
Really, I mean, you're quick at
I've
thinking
developed.
about.
Well, it's not that.
I
Now,
threw a
Johnny
wrench in your
Rooster-
whole entire.
Johnny Rooster has cogitated on this one in the past.
Oh, that's got
so
to be
this
painful.
is not fresh material. There's a lot of cogitation, a lot of chicken scratching going.
Do they make ointments for that?
I hope the hens are not offended by the rooster today, but you know, sacra being toe, you carry that on to if you have sacrament, sacrabinct.
Separate. I guess that
Yeah.
would work.
Can you think of another word that has flush before washing,
Yeah.
and then wash after flushing?
That's a really long one. Sorry.
That's a lot of toilets.
I didn't know. That's
That one's clearing.
That's not a water saver toilet.
What
I know
is
that
that?
much.
That's a 6 gallon of flush. We're going on and on. It's like somebody's gargling. So the mayor of Sacramento is now the proud mayor of
Let's just
Sacramento.
call him the May.
The May of
The May.
Sacramento. And May could be. See, the fight was May is M-A-Y. Should it be M-A-E? Because it's more polite.
I don't know.
M-A-Y is so hardcore. It could be the May, M-A-E, of Sacramento.
Yeah. Sacramento.
Yeah. Men, I'm thinking about men. Well, there's other things that come to mind. That was a delayed laugh. Should have hit it, and it wasn't that funny. At least wait till it's funny.
That
What do you
kind
guys?
of makes it funny.
What do you think of twisting the language for someone's agenda? What do we got to say about this? Because
well-
that's my beef. That's my grind.
And you know, a lot of people.
I don't like it. What do you like?
Well, you know.
I'm really rich.
Are we okay with this?
Sorry, that was weird.
Yes.
I'm not. You know.
What are your thoughts on
Don't
twisting?
force
the,
it. I understand.
I'm not trying to hurt you.
No, I get it. I get it that. And I've talked about this before. It just seems silly to me that we're being forced to completely throw out everything we've ever been taught or known, and because people decide that they're offended about any kind of gender specific anything. I really. There are way more important things to be upset about in this
True.
world. You know?
Yeah, to ban. All right, this started. If you just tuned in, Sacramento last year, the city of Sacramento, California, banned the use of the term manhole covers
Yeah.
because it was offensive. Well, okay. So I made fun of the fact that they couldn't even Sacramento legally. Under that rule, they should be Sacramento because they're beings, not men.
That's right.
And then we have Minneapolis, Minnesota, Bingiapolis, Minnesota.
Yeah.
And yeah, Manitoba, and the province of Canada, it's not Whooper-daughter-atoba, it's Bingatoba.
Bingatoba.
Yeah, Winnipeg, Manitoba is now Winnipeg, Bingatoba. Bingatoba, coming at you from Bingatoba.
Bingatoba.
Very, very.
That sounds very,
culturally
very fun.
sensitive. So if we were, all right, the point being, if we were culturally sensitive on every matter, and we made a big deal about any gender reference, to me, Pastor Matt, I don't know about you, the Bible was in the masculine, and now it's been changed to the neutral. And I'm not saying it's changed the meaning, except in some phrases we are called sons of God, had the ownership of sons, not just the children of God. Now, I'm not taking away from the daughters. I'm not.
No.
I'm just saying in that culture, sonship meant something specific. The specificity, and I could say that like Jay, is taken. It takes away some of that. We're getting all neutral all the time.
Yeah.
It's always neutral.
It's like you walk.
How
Life
much
becomes
middle of the road comes along before you get hit by a truck?
now you got the ground is made up of eggshells. You know what I mean? We're always walking on eggshells.
Yeah.
Even doing what we do right now.
Yeah.
You know,
we got all set it up and be disclaimer this and be careful that.
Yeah. And, you know, we love you, man, woman, or whatever you identify as.
But we got to realize
we love you no matter what.
The Word of God, the Bible, is talking about a male and a female, but it's not putting down others that jump outside of God's. How many times have we fallen short of the glory of God?
Often.
In fact, we're Christians and we sin. We don't intentionally sin.
Now, unfortunately,
we struggle.
There are Christians out there that really throw condemnation on people.
Yeah.
And that gives the rest of us a bad name. You have,
as somebody wise said, not all Christians are buttheads, but there are some of them are really belligerent.
Yeah, and that's like, look, just give them a little miniature broom. Whenever someone is giving you a hard time, hand it to them. And when they say, "What is that?" Say, "That's so you can sweep off your own front porch before you start trying to sweep off mine."
And for those of you who heard us earlier about miniature, it would be beingature.
Beingature, yeah.
Beingature. Can you imagine, though, seriously, culture taking the language to a neutral, and no gender specific?
That would be crazy. Crazy.
Just, ladies and gentlemen, no, beings, you're addressing the audience.
It sounds like something out of a sci-fi deal.
Fellow beings. It is good to be here, fellow beings.
Now, when you say that, who's that one guy that always talks about the sci-fi stuff? And
we talked about that last week. Sci-fi.
He's like, what do you want to do here? Is this guy, he talks like this, and he's, he's an astrophysicist or whatever.
So he's
famous. But he was weird.
Weird.
He was part of the what's that mission went to Mars.
Oh,
yeah, it was pretty funny.
Yeah. You see, we've got to get off of being neutral.
Look, there's there's so many more things to be upset about.
We got to get off of being angry about gender differences.
Yeah.
No more of this, please.
Yeah.
Don't project it on your kids. Don't project it on yourself. Don't be afraid of being male or female. It's okay.
Yeah.
And don't be angry about somebody who uses the word manhole cover if they're talking about something that covers up a hole.
And
I'm not saying it should have been.
And when they got those names, back whenever they made the names of these parts, the manhole cover.
Yeah.
There were not women that worked in that specific field.
Right. And it wasn't meant to be disparaging.
But then we're also
against women.
Mankind.
Mankind. And
mankind is not female or male. That's humankind. Mankind.
Yeah.
But you know what? If we have offended you, I apologize.
It's not to be offensive. It's to be really reflective on how our culture has dissected everything, become offended by it.
Yeah, everybody's getting offended.
Put itself on a neutral platform. Can you imagine a world where nobody is distinct? We're all neutral.
The media is making people victims that aren't victims.
We don't want to fall into the media trap because we're part of the media. It's Acts Media Group.
Yeah.
We don't want to fall in line marching like lemmings along the merry way of neutrality.
No.
No.
But I tell you what, you will not find a more respectful and non-judgmental group of people.
That's right.
In the ministry.
In fact, if somebody's hurting inside and they're acting out, that is not the time to talk to them about how they need to shape up. If there's pain involved,
I say just introduce them to Christ.
That's right.
And let them
Let
deal with
love
it between them and
win.
Christ. Yes.
Yeah.
Love.
You know what? I want to say this. I love and take care of people, whoever they are, whatever their gender, whatever their identification, because that's the right thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, my best friend is a gay guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
You might
and that's
think
never been
you might have heard the earlier part of this program think male chauvinist pigs or whatever.
Yeah.
Not the case at all.
We're not.
I defer to women, and I believe that they actually have a high place in our culture that is more distinct than what just the men.
Oh, yeah.
The run-of-the-mill men don't get the intuitiveness. Women already know.
Mm-hmm.
I've said this quite a while. Women, I had a group of ladies that was a business group, and usually there's men and women. This particular setting, only ladies and myself.
Yeah.
So I said, ladies, can I say something that's different than what you're hearing? Because Johnny Rooster likes to do this stuff in the real world. They were all listening, and they said, okay, go ahead. And they were kind of nervous, like, what are you going to say? I said, ladies, when a man is going on a rant, like he's all full speed ahead on an idea, do not correct him, even if he's slightly wrong or fully wrong in some parts.
Because he'll figure it out.
If you correct him, he will resent that and pull back and not share. But if you let him run on his merry way and you know better, you know he's going to fail, let him do some goof-ups, then he'll come back and ask you the questions that you already know. Ladies, for some reason, women already know when a man's going to say something. My wife's in the studio. She's nodding her head so much she's going to snap her neck. But seriously,
she's giggling too.
Women know stuff that we don't, and if they want to correct us because they're right. But ladies, don't be right. Let him stumble, and then he'll come back to you, and then he'll
be there to help pick him up when he falls.
Here's the point:
we rely on you, ladies.
The man resents the woman who corrects him mid-conversation. He doesn't want to be corrected. He wants to be.
As men are stubborn.
Stubborn. Yes, I admit it right here. Stubborn and really ready to do my thing, and then when I realize I've goofed. Then I'm ready to go to my wife and say, what do you think, dear? And when she was thinking, cross her arms, tap her foot, that kind of look, like roll her eyes. I know women do that all the time to us men. I know they do.
You know that old saying, behind every good man is a good woman rolling her eyes.
Exactly. Can you imagine, and I can't, but being a woman and just knowing that the man's doing something stupid and wanting to stop him, but knowing that if she did, he'd be offended and mad and yell at her.
I've been in that situation where, you're training somebody and you know that you've done this time and time again, and they're going through it, and you know that they're trying to remember, but they're doing it wrong, and you got to let them mess up because they will not learn. They will not learn the right way.
Message to the ladies listening out there: let your man struggle because he's going to try to do it his way, and if you don't correct him, he will appreciate you, and if you do correct him, even though you're right, he'll resent that. So that's my message. That's Johnny Rooster wisdom right there.
Johnny Rooster wisdom. Well, we're at 23 minutes right now.
Well, we're saying the things that people don't hear. It's Monday morning.
Right.
It's time. It's back to work. People are getting back in the groove. We want to be available. And if you have a comment, put it in the comments below about what you think about these gender neutralities and all of these rules that we're facing. I don't want a new culture of neutrality. Do you?
No.
I don't want to go down that path anymore.
And, we don't have that really going on here in Springfield,
No,
Missouri.
we don't, but it could happen. We don't want it to happen. We want to stand man, woman, it's good.
Hey.
No sacrabinto here.
No sacrabinto.
That sounds funny.
So
I'd like to have a sacrabinto.
And then we just need to make sure you guys know that we're not saying however you identify.
No.
We're not saying you're bad. We're just saying,
Just don't say sacrabinto.
Don't
be weird about it.
Don't be so quick to get upset.
Yeah, be okay. Be okay.
Love people.
We
We
love
love
people.
you. That's how it goes.
Love people.
So, it's time for us to get out of here, Johnny.
I love you, man.
I love you
Can
too,
I
man.
say man?
Yeah, you can. I'm offended.
I love you, Being.
I love you too, Being.
Don't ever say that again. Gotta go.
You're the Being
Get
that I
ready
want.
for the morning drive. It's going to be awesome.
Coming up next, the morning drive. Let's see what they're going to be talking about today. And the Morning Mouth with Johnny Rooster and Pastor Matt will be on again next Monday, so tune in here. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.